Warning, the following show is made by people with no idea what they're doing. It may contain spoilers, strong language, or opinions that could be offensive to some audience members. Leave us feedback, and we'll try to improve.
Hello, and welcome to the first Who Would Win podcast. I am Rafflemo.
I'm Metray.
I'm Kiwi.
And I'm Mac.
I'm in Conrady.
Today we're going to be trying to figure out exactly what we're doing, exactly how our flow is going to work for the show. We'll be using a lot of your feedback for that so that we can better ourselves in our show. So far, we do have kind of a rough outline that we're going to be following along with, but we might deviate from it. We'll see. Going to start out with just like, hey guys, how was your week? How's everything been going? What's up?
It's pretty great.
Mine was delightful.
I've been tackling a lot of tech issues that I've been having recently, so the podcast should go smoothly-ish.
Yeah, actually getting this podcast set up has taken up most of our last week.
That's why we don't do any work anymore.
Yeah.
We just stopped moderating entirely.
Yeah, this is going to be our whole new...
So really, there was no change in our output, but still.
No, I mean, who does work anyway? Fuck that.
Well, we increased our output, we just put it all towards this and not towards the sub.
Mm-hmm. So about the same.
I didn't do anything for anything this entire week.
He's just
No
been
change.
shitposting the entire time. Fuck you, Conrad.
Go back to Mexico.
I'm from Canada, eh?
Pip pip the doodly doo.
Okay, so first thing that we're probably going to change about the format is less bullshitting time right up front. Let's move on to our first thing. Actually, we do have one thing that we want to do with this startup thing. We want to plug Respect Threads, the different subreddit that is our sister sub. We use them a lot, and really they don't get enough attention. So if you could go over to the reddit.com/r/respectthreads page and check it out, contribute, do your thing, that'd be awesome.
I recommend the Burger King Respect Thread by yours truly, especially because it is amazing.
I recommend Dr. Tran or, Agent Howard's, the good
Who?
character. The good character, the best one.
Who?
And now we are going to move on to our question and answer segment. We'll get our flow down over time. We'll figure out exactly how we're going to pace everything. But for now, we do want to get to the user questions. And the first one that we got, and the first one that we're going to discuss, is you get to summon 2 fictional characters to have any sort of fight. Combat, card duel, debate, etc. And you get a front row seat to the action. Who do you choose and why? All right. Minor technical glitch. Start over with answers.
Okay, well, ignoring Etre and his patently sexual answers as always, I'm going to say Godzilla and Gamera because that would be really cool. And I'm going to assume I'm not actually close enough that I'll die from that. I'm away on a hill with binoculars watching this shit go down.
You're going to be in the middle of the fight. You got to watch it.
Why would I be in the middle? Does the question say we're in the middle of the fight? No, man. It's just so we get to see it.
Let's just say that we're
front row
protected.
seat action. You got front row
let's say
seat
that
action.
we've got Sue Storm with us. She's got us protected by a force field or something. We can see all the action without.
Etre's going to need protection for his, but that makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
Different kind of protection.
But yeah, Godzilla Gamera, because giant monster fights are the coolest. Or Godzilla versus the Megazord, because that'd be great.
That would be fun.
Be amazing.
Okay, well, what if you're doing a giant monster fight? Are you in the middle of the city and you're seeing an entire city that you like or that you live in get destroyed? That kind of sucks.
No, it's a shitty city. It's like Seattle or something.
Detroit.
Detroit gets enough shit already, man. I'm not going to pile on to that.
Give him a break. Cut him a break.
Well, if we're just moving it to whatever random city, why not just a field or a desert?
Take a fictional city. They don't matter.
All right, I picked Gotham.
Fuck Gotham.
Yeah. Anybody who likes Batman is the worst.
True.
Batman versus that fight.
I'd like to see Batman and Superman fight.
Oh, that'd be really unique. I don't think anyone's ever done that before.
It's almost as unique as Goku versus Superman.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't come up with good matches like that. I mean, it's so obvious.
You know
Ever-
who never gets used on the sub and needs to get used a lot more? Saitama from One Punch Man. You might have heard of him.
Yeah,
He's really
he'd be
cool
awesome.
because he wins every fight in one punch because that's the purpose of his character. So
You know what?
never
Jokes-
lose.
Jokes aside, it's
What
actually a
joke?
really great. Okay. Aside, it's actually a really great idea because you can make two fictional characters fight that you would never ever get an answer otherwise.
Thus rendering our entire subreddit pointless.
I
Oh,
do
but
feel like
You
I
can
mean,
do it
since,
once.
I mean, more
since we brought him
pointless.
up, guys, since we brought him up, One Punch Man, and because it's one of those things that we really should discuss for the sub so that they can know where we stand on it.
First order of business. His name is not One Punch Man. It's
Yeah,
not
it
a
is.
No.
description. His name is Cape Baldy. Fuck you guys.
Cape Baldy. He's Bald
Yes,
Goku.
Cape
We
Baldy
established
is
that.
his official superhero name. It is also acceptable to call him Saitama, though.
Or that asshole.
Honestly,
Goku.
though,
Okay, on the
though-
question of character intention versus feats, I think that it's fair to say that most of us would agree that while character intention may be a way of finding an answer, it finds one answer in his case, and we're kind of there to find any other answer that might be there. So if we're
If
using
character
feats and we're using
intention-
the
if
Go
character
ahead.
intention says that the character wins automatically, then you might as well just ignore that argument because that's not any fun.
right, and so we can move on and look at the other available data and find another answer that would work for those who don't want to follow character intention.
It's just like different character types. If you're gonna use Batman from the animated series, then you could use them, but like you can also talk about the other ones in any conversation where the OP doesn't
I
specify.
mean, they're not as good, but yeah, you can talk about them.
So we're still doing that one. You summon two fictional characters to have any sort of fight. I believe that I'm going to have to stick with the one that I came up with the first time I saw this, which was the Bang Babies from Static Shock versus the kids from X-Men Evolution.
I like that one. I
just-
love that.
That's not
It's just
fair,
a
though, because
nice
one
matchup.
side has psychics.
We're gonna have to do like speed equalized, psychics equalized, and shit too.
Everyone's the
There
same
would be-
amount of psychic.
There would be a little bit of tweaking that would need to happen so that there were no like game-breaking people present.
It's a big generic, category, but I like the fight in general.
The Power Rangers versus somebody name another team.
Beetleborgs.
Go.
Hell
That
yeah.
happened in a comic once.
Oh, did it?
Or-
Power Rangers Zeo versus Beetleborgs Metallics.
Huh.
I
Fucking
should
horrible.
read that. I would
All right,
go.
moving on. We have another
Um,
question here from our Q&A.
I
Is
never got
everyone
the
ready?
answer.
I didn't answer
Oh,
that.
who
Still
went?
didn't get the
Who didn't
answer.
go? Who didn't go? Go ahead.
And Conrad.
Okay, so if I could legitimately get front row seats to a fight, I would pick Superman versus Goku in the Universe 6, Universe 7 tournament in Super.
Mac, I hate you.
I feel like those constraints make it so you wouldn't get a definitive answer anyway, because the tournament format is different from an all-out fight, so it would have a different result. Because Goku's a better martial artist, so he'd probably do better in a tournament setting. Like, regardless.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because Superman, like half the time, he's just flying at people and throwing them through buildings and stuff. He's gonna get a ring
And
out in like 2
snapping
seconds.
their necks and such.
Yeah.
Instant lobotomy.
Oh god. I looked for abnormalities in your brain, and when I found one, I cut it out. That movie was
No
so good.
limits.
No
Also, I
limits.
looked
We
it
have
up.
this on good authority
It
that
was
there are
Power
no limits.
Rangers Turbo versus Beetleborgs Metallics. My mistake, people
Oh.
at home. I know 6 of you who have heard of that care a lot.
I want to do Mummies Alive versus
Mummies
like,
Alive is the
Beetleborgs.
fucking best.
Road
Right?
Rovers versus Street Sharks.
Oh,
Mighty
shit.
Ducks versus Road Rovers.
That'd
Yeah.
be good too.
I could do that. That sounds good.
Biker Mice from Mars versus Road Rovers. What was the big one's name?
I don't even remember their
Something
names.
stupid.
Cheezer.
Yeah,
That was probably it.
I want to look it up, and his name is Cheezor.
My real answer to this is Amy Reyes versus Tony Stark. I
That's a
think
good
that'd be
one.
That's like the only legitimate one so far.
How is Godzilla versus Gamera not legitimate?
destroying Detroit.
They're in Seattle.
Well, I mean, Detroit's already destroyed.
Yeah.
Seattle.
They go to Godzilla and Gamera would go to Detroit, look at it, and then start trying to rebuild.
If anything, the fight would improve it.
Well, this is nicer now.
Godzilla and Gamera start fighting in Detroit. They put out several fires.
They actually leave things better than when they started fighting.
Gamera, friend of all children, had been mugged this morning in Detroit. It was amazing.
At
Every
the senior
child in
center.
Detroit. I keep calling it Destroyt, and that's oddly
Destroyt.
appropriate.
That's the fictional city that we use for all of our battles. Destroyt.
Quote, canon. This is canon now. Everyone has to
This
set all
is
your
in the
battles.
Who Would
in
Win
Destroyt.
universe. In our own canon, this is reality.
Win battles where all universes meet. It's called Destroyt.
Who would win? Where no definitive answers will ever be reached.
Definitive answers are bad, man.
I think it's Conrad's turn.
Yeah, I'm just waiting patiently for all you guys. Just doing the polite
You
thing.
need to speak up more. We're
Fucking
too
can't.
loud and noisy.
Okay,
Gideon
so
is sorry.
I would I would have a centipede and a millipede because there's the most feats.
Ugh.
Oh, boo.
This is
No,
That
for
was
real,
dad
for
joke
real though,
quality right there.
I would do the protagonist from Dark Souls, Bill Murray's character from Groundhog Day, and Tom Cruise's character from Edge of Tomorrow in a three-way because they all like the time shenanigans.
Hold
Edge
on.
of Tomorrow guy, that would be KG Korea, or in America, I think it was John Cage or something.
How do you remember that?
Because I literally have All You Need Is Kill right here, book sounds, and it's my favorite fucking book. It's great.
Next question. How much would you have to be paid to kill someone? And I know that's kind of going into a darker region than our
Depends
last
on
question,
who.
but that's what they asked us.
Who is it and how am I doing it?
Yeah, and why? And there's
No,
too
not
many
why,
variables.
just who and how. Like, if it's my mother, no money. Because
Okay,
I
someone you've met before, but not someone who you're like really close to. You don't have to worry about getting caught. It's just the moral dilemma.
Can I mention specific
you have to use
users
your
from the
bare
subreddit?
hands.
Wait. No moral dilemma and bare hands. I think.
Yeah.
Can I mention a specific user from the subreddit?
No.
No.
You Krillin.
Never heard of him.
It's,
He's just some shit poster.
he shows up in amateur hour and that's it, so nobody ever sees him.
He tried to post these late night discussions once. Not really a good idea, but
That's going into a very, very dark place.
the question, or am I mentioning Krillin?
Anyway,
discussion.
I
Back
would
to the question.
I would need enough money to make it worth it.
Do I have a chance of getting arrested and shit?
Let's say no.
You can get away with it. You just need to deal with the moral problems with it.
Honestly, it depends on how much money I need at the time.
Fair
I
point.
feel like
yeah.
I feel like you can't really go wrong with $1 billion if it's something where you know
Yeah, but
you
if
can get away with it.
If at that point in my life I'm well off enough that I don't want the moral dilemma of that shit, I'm just gonna say, nah, I'm good.
Like realistically, you gotta go lower. Like
$60 billion.
because
Yeah,
anybody
who's
would do
really
it for
worth
$1 billion.
that
That's
much
like
to go?
that's
No, if there's
There's
no
enough to
limit
change.
to how much you can ask for, you can just ask for infinite money.
it's enough to change like your whole life for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
like, that's,
1
that's not
billion
even
is a great number. 2 million is a great number. If I want to do it for 2 million, that's a lot.
the lowest you would do it for.
Yeah,
There's your
how
question.
low would you go before it's not enough?
I have no idea.
Without getting
I
caught.
would probably
76,000.
say about 6 million.
Risk of getting caught, I'm thinking like hundreds of thousands.
Without the risk of getting caught, honestly, I'd say about 500,000 would be low enough that I don't think anything lower than that would even get me to consider it. That's right around where like it would start to have some weight to my life.
Like you could hire somebody to do that for
Well, no,
way
like
less.
that. If someone were trying to hire me to do it, that that amount of money would really start to get my attention. Anything below that, and it's like, absolutely not. This is a human being. I'm too moral for this. What's wrong with you? And then they get to that point, and it's like, well, how much did you say?
Totally. I believe you. Just like 100%.
I mean, everything's got a... Also, just for our own editing purposes and those listening, we have just passed the 15-minute mark on the show. We're going to try and edit our timing and pacing and stuff in general, but just so that when you guys are giving us feedback, just so you know, and so that we know what part of the show we're discussing, that's about how long it's been. So
can we really promise them to listen to their feedback when we already don't in our actual jobs?
It's like all I do anymore. Everyone will tell you I don't do anything but listen to people's feedback.
Oh yeah, most people complain a lot about you specifically.
Yeah, exactly, because I do nothing at all on the sub.
About your big dick.
Well, he doesn't do anything at all. That's true.
Yeah, I do nothing.
Listen, guys, Moo can't help that he's a big dick millionaire. It's just who he is. Let him be.
Moving on. Next question. We have examples of feat hierarchies and good matchups. Now, this one is going to be a little tricky because we could do this for days. But
Saitama versus Thought Robot.
Let's try and get examples of characters who would follow the feat hierarchy in a good, like, example-y sort of way. And what we would see as good matchups. Just in our personal opinions. These obviously don't stand for the sub in general, just personal.
Gara of the Sand versus Toph. I said that to piss off one person specifically. You know who you are. Let's move on.
I think that for like the feat hierarchy stuff, I know that there's like a lot of like science fiction stuff that falls under like the really good feat stuff, just that it's all strictly defined.
Mm-hmm. Like Zeely.
I don't want to say Sugsverse, but Sugsverse is probably the best example of like really well defined, perfectly explicit, like,
and it's horrible for us.
Well, yeah, it's terrible. That's just objective fact. But everything about it is very strictly defined and very strictly stated. Like, this character picked up a mountain that weighed 10 billion kilograms, then generated a mountain 10 times that, and then threw
having exact measurements helps a lot.
Yeah, but at the same time, they can be really misleading. Like, if somebody knows nothing about how much something weighs and they just say, like, this is a billion-pound steel beam, like, I don't see that happening at all.
It's like this guy is moving a sword around that's supposed to weigh 5 tons, and it's like, yeah, but no. I mean, come on.
We're referring to Guts, of course, from the anime Berserk.
Well, isn't his only like 300 pounds?
It's like 400 something.
It's ridiculous, but it's not like tons and tons.
Remember that time he dodged lightning and it didn't count?
Didn't count? What?
There are some bad debaters on the subreddit. Let's leave it at that.
Hey, we love our users, and just because some of them might be wrong occasionally doesn't make them bad.
Look,
wrong
you're
until
idiots,
proven
but you're
wrong.
our idiots, so we love you.
Yeah, let's not.
That's
what
my dad says.
Let's not trash talk the people that just gave us 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we are nothing without them. We like them a lot.
Except for the ones who like Sugsverse. You know who you are.
Yeah,
no,
those dirty
It's just trash.
I just want to remind you, Conrad, you're the one who brought up Sugs first.
We should have Final Sugs on the show.
Yo, that would be... I would not be happy, but sure.
That would actually be fucking hilarious. Let's do it.
That would probably be the greatest thing that ever happens. Like, that would be our peak. We would never go beyond that.
How angry I would get about his definition of omnipotence.
Yeah, that's another thing that we could talk about is that whole omnipotence problem that we've been approaching on the sub.
There's no such thing as a true omnipotent.
Well, yeah, and that's really what needs to be understood for us to be able to talk about it.
Omnipotence is easy to realize how that works once you think of it as like a spectrum. Like, some people are more omnipotent than other omnipotents.
They are omnipotent within their sphere of influence.
No. The Infinity Gauntlet makes you omnipotent, but only in the sphere of influence of one universe, whereas the One Above All has power over the entire Marvel multiverse. And hypothetically, a real-world omnipotent, like God, would have power over everything.
Right, including all fictional universes, which is why we'll never actually have a true omnipotent. But we can still use that
we'll
phrase.
never know about him.
If we do, we don't know. That's true. But
Problem is,
when we're using
omnipotence
it in these
means
discussions,
omnipotence means a very specific thing, and all
we
of
can
those
use it
definitions that you just threw out are ones that are wrong.
Well, if we go by semantics, you look like a tool, but that's not the point.
The point
Sure,
is
I
that
don't
if we're
mind.
going to use omnipotence, we have to accept that there are different versions of it that will come up
Mhm.
in our discussions. When someone is called omnipotent, that isn't true omnipotence as we would understand it in the real world. It is omnipotence as they understand it in their world.
It's like peak human.
It can vary.
Mhm.
It's this weird like gray area where if it doesn't mean specifically omnipotence, like true omnipotence, then it can't count as like a substitute for feats. I feel about it.
It's
Yeah,
all based
everyone
on
just
skill.
understand that Saitama, Krillin, and Batman are all peak human.
Yes. In their universe.
Is Batman really
Oh.
peak human?
Can we
There's
not get
not-
into this, please?
I don't think there's anyone stronger than him explicitly without like using some kind of power up or magic or chemical or something.
Here's the thing. Batman is technically peak human, but it's generally considered that Nightwing is more agile than him, so Batman can't technically be peak human.
Well, no, people can
He's peak
outperform him
average.
in one area or another.
Peak average.
So, I mean, technically, him as a peak human doesn't really count because there's peaker humans in different categories.
Well, but if
He's
someone
really
is,
just an average man.
I don't know about
It's just-
that because if someone's better than him in one category but worse in all others, does that make them peaker than him or what? Like, how does that work?
They make him
Peak
peak in
human
that
in
one
their
area.
specific- Yeah, they're peaking.
Which is why these terms don't really mean anything for us. Things like that
Yes.
and like various tiers and things like that. They're good ballpark terminology, but they're not a substitute for feats.
This is why
To try
I'm
and wrap
saying
that back around to our
omnipotence has
discussion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like omnipotence has to be a specific thing, otherwise it has to be backed up with
The way
feats.
I see
That's
it,
just how it is.
Well, and that's the thing too. You can't
depends on scope.
actually prove omnipotence with feats. You'll never do it because they'd have to have literally done everything.
I'm saying, like, omnipotence has to mean a specific thing, and if we accept that a character is omnipotent, then they have that power over everything. But if we can't accept that they're omnipotent because there's no such thing as a true omnipotent,
Well, but in
Then we
their
gotta go by
reality, they do have power over all that exists because in their reality is all that exists. So in
Or-
that context,
as
they
far as
would
we
be
know.
omnipotent. In our context, they would not necessarily be omnipotent because we work with much, much bigger multiverses than they do.
only as far as we know, just like in Sugsverse, if everybody is described as omnipotent, then they're not omnipotent because the translation of that, the
Or
powers that
they're all
sharing,
the same person, and Sugsverse was a lot more meta than we ever thought.
Exactly. Kiwi's got it.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that Oracle has the worst feats of anyone in the Bat family.
Yeah, she can't use them.
That was mean.
That's the joke.
Yeah, but I'm the one who took it home.
Go away.
That was just supposed to be
Moving
implied,
on,
Kiwi.
we have the next question on our list. We have,
we
how
even
did
do
you
the
get
last
started
question?
on Who Would Win?
Even do the last question.
No, we did. We talked. It was about omnipotence and such, I think.
It was about good matchups and feat hierarchies.
Yeah, we did do that. We strayed,
Okay.
but I think we answered
Good
the question.
matchups: Aquaman and Steel.
Maybe we should just do this the entire time, just come up with matches.
I think
Wait,
I
is-
should probably be the first to answer. How did we get started on who would win? Because
Yeah, let's do that.
Fine.
I was
move
the
on.
first one other than Moo here who got started on who would win. So the way I got my job as a mod on who would win was Krillin was away for a long time, and I was the only person with the skills required to come anywhere close to being able to do his job while he was gone, while still being familiar with the way the sub actually works.
Yeah, we needed you for CSS.
Get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Now we don't need you no more. Pa says you
Oh,
gotta
we-
go.
We love Mac. He does lots of great stuff for
Welcome
us.
to
I love
the Farewell Mac 0409 podcast.
So Kiwi, tell us, how did you get started with us?
I can remember.
Hired by me.
I know it was probably last March or February, I feel like. I can look by my first post on Reddit was my first post on the subreddit, I think, so that'll tell me when exactly. But it was mostly just I found the subreddit somehow. I think it was through Death Battle, actually. Somebody linked to a thread in one of the
Jesus.
comments. And then I found this place, and I was like, yeah, this looks like a place I can take over. And then I did.
It's starting with banners. Yes, the most important thing. Banner.
Well, to be fair, it's the only part of the layout people care about. And the ones you were making before me, whew boy. Whew.
I can your job back over. Don't worry. We can demote you. Don't worry.
Okay, have fun looking terrible.
So Etre, where did you come from in the who would win sense?
Well, my story is not all that different from Kiwi's. I was started at like when we had 1,300 subs, and the sub was like really quiet, and most of the posts were just like reposts, the exact same thing like a billion times. And I literally had not joined Reddit yet, so I just made a post between my friend's favorite character and my favorite character, Nightcrawler and Gambit, and that did pretty well. And then I kept coming back every once in a while, and eventually I kicked around the idea with the mods for Amateur Hour, and that eventually led to my position.
All right, who hasn't gone yet other than me?
Conrad.
It's me. It's
Go,
always me.
Conrad.
I'm the diversity hire, the token Canadian.
A.
No, for
Okay.
real, I found the subreddit through, well, I clicked the random button, and that actually took me to Ask Science Fiction. And we were on the sidebar. And so I went to Who Would Win, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And I have been around ever since on one account or another. This is actually like the third account I have had on this subreddit.
This is my second.
My
Because
first.
I tried getting into it like in 2013, and I was like, wait, this website's terrible.
This is my first account on Reddit. It's not my last. I made a couple others just because I didn't want them connected to Who Would Win.
No, yeah, I also
attached
have
here.
porn alts. Don't worry.
Well, mine are mainly just like for serious discussion that I
No.
want connected to Who Would Win.
That either means you're racist or it's porn. I don't know.
No,
There's
just
there's
stuff that
there's
doesn't
not
need to be tied in with Who Would Win.
Name one thing.
do the
Well,
same
any
thing.
kind of like
I'll-
actual serious discussion of the news or anything. I don't want people popping in and going, "Hey, it's that guy from that thing."
I've seen
I
like
do the same thing. Like if there's a thread on Ask Reddit and I want to talk like openly about my not Who Would Win persona, I'll
about
switch to
your
a different account.
racism.
Well,
about my
I solved that
racism.
problem by just not doing stuff that's not on Who Would Win.
Yeah, I
You just
don't
cut
care
everything
about-
else out of your life.
To be fair, I just don't care about any other part of the website.
Brad has never left Who Would Win since he started. That's literally his entire life.
There are two other subreddits that I use.
Who Would
Okay,
Win Verse
look-
and PVMVT.
No, it's the Paradox Grand Strategy Game subreddit. And
nerdy.
it is. It's like I get to reform the German Empire. It's pretty great. Not Naziist at all.
Nazis.
And I get to like reform the Byzantine Empire and stuff. It's totally not historical nerdy at all. In the
Yeah.
slightest.
That's actually pretty sweet. I should check that out.
The only other subreddits I go on are respect threads and I guess ones for YouTube shows I like or TV shows in general that I like. I'll go once in a while. I'll either post fan art or just look at stuff. But otherwise, this is the only one I'm ever active in.
Yeah, I do video game Reddits just to see what's up with my games, and then like I'll post some things on Ask Reddit on an alt, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, so I looked it up. My
we
first
still need to
ever
know how
post-
Moo got started on Who Would Win.
No.
Yeah, mine is
Oh,
actually
no.
mine is not quite as exciting. I started out and I was
implies any of this
making
was exciting.
I was making those charts for various characters that I was going to do for a tournament, and that is still something that I'm I plan on doing. It's just that so many things have come up ahead of time that have ended up taking my attention away from it. Basically, what it was is that you go through and try to find, on a scale of 1 to 10, where a character would rank in issues of speed and strength and things like that.
Oh yeah, that was
It was
terrible.
a broken system. It really needs a lot of work, but it got the attention of Krillin at the time, and he wasn't really paying attention to the sub. He had some other stuff to do.
As he does.
Fat Kid No Friends was not around, so Krillin tried to get me in, and I said no twice, and then he just made me a mod because he wanted me to do it, and I did. It did end up happening the way that I thought it would, where it did get in the way of the tournament that I wanted to do, obviously, because it still hasn't happened.
And it never will.
I really hope it does. Like, it's one of the things I want to do. I just
I
need
would
to
bet
figure out how to do it better.
$10,000.
I think that the
I'll take that bet and then help Move finish the tournament.
I'm a
once
liar.
we've gotten into the swing of things here, and once this is going, once I get PVMBT off the ground and running smoothly on its own, then I will have a little bit more time to devote to the tournament. Everything else, I'm just gonna have to try not to get distracted. But then I've been the mod ever since. I think I was a mod since there were 4,000 or so people. I'm not sure, and I put all of the Nazi reforms in place that allow the community to run everything. And yeah, I'm evil. Really, I'm a horrible
The no
dictator.
cripples clause was controversial, but it really helped us cut down on shitposting.
Yeah, I try to do what's best for the community.
Hey, I'll say that you're wrong because I remember in my Gambit versus Nightcrawler post that you were already a mod and I was at 1,300 subs.
So it was like there were not many at all.
You were probably at 1,000 when you got modded.
That's crazy.
Okay. I think I was at like 90,000 when I got modded. It was like a month ago.
Also, we just recently passed the 30-minute mark for anyone who gives a shit.
So you.
Pretty much me, yeah.
I looked
Actually, a comment on the tournament thing. I honestly believe that we would need like a paid staff to get it done anytime in the next 3 or 4 years.
I'm going to be the staff. I don't have to be paid for it. This is just something that I do.
He gets paid
If you want to pay me, I'll take it.
We got a lot of projects coming up. We'll see what
We
happens.
do. We can't say too much about that, though.
But we'll see what happens. There's a lot of things.
So I looked it up. My first post ever was Batman versus Yoshikage Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Wow, use characters that people know about.
Who are you?
Come on, obscurity is not a problem on our sub at all.
Yeah, it got a good amount of answers. It got like 19, I think, which wasn't bad.
That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, so fuck you.
For a first post on Reddit, because a lot of those get fucking ignored.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you... Oh, that's the wrong question. Now I'm screwing everything up.
Shut up.
What is your least favorite character to argue about and most favorite character to argue about? Everyone go.
Time? Saitama.
Yes,
Saitama.
Saitama's everyone's
Saitama
least
to
favorite.
both.
I mean,
For both?
we should probably go other than Saitama because he's the worst.
No. Wait,
Literally
let
the
Mac
worst.
defend his... Let Mac defend his
Wait, what
opinion
did
because he
Mac
said
say?
for both. Tama for both.
Oh, go.
I really dislike arguing against Saitama because the people who argue for him
Are
tend to
idiots.
have really bad arguments and not accept anything other than Saitama wins. However, when I argue for him, I found that his feats are pretty easy to gauge.
If you stick to feats and not character intention, then you can actually get some decent discussion.
Yeah, his feats put him pretty high tier. I mean, he's not an S tier, but he's fucking strong. It's just people who think he can beat Superman Prime 1 million.
Oh no, we lost him.
And nothing of value was lost.
He'll log back in a second.
I'll take over for Kiwi since he dropped out of
Hello.
the conversation.
Oh, are you back?
It's me.
Hey, Kiwi. We
Welcome
had
to
a
the
rant
Who Would
about
Win
Hyper
Modcast.
Crisis while you were gone.
Heard about Hyper Crisis.
No. No.
I do think that when it comes down to favorite and least favorite character, it can often be the same people for me because I really like the characters. I think that there's a lot to be discussed there in a debate, but often the reason that they're disappointing is because people don't treat them the way that they could be treated. And I think that Saitama is an example of that. If we used him properly, he'd be just fine. He could be really fun.
Yeah.
But we need everyone to follow some kind of order when we're discussing these people.
Yeah, I'm going to
The
piggyback
problem
off that
is
because
a lot of people who just come into the sub for the first time after watching or reading One Punch Man, and then they're like, "I don't understand. What is a feat?
well,
what is a feat?"
there's that. But that's something people got to get used to. That's why part of the feed hierarchy is, opinion is fine as long as, you accept that there's other answers. I'll piggyback off of Moo's answer and say, like least favorite character to argue can still be like a favorite character. I really hate arguing with Static, only because I like Static so much. But his skill set is just pure conjecture because you have to know a lot about physics and you have to know how much he knows about physics, and it's just like so. It's like out there, and you have to be able to argue it correctly, and it's frustrating, which sucks because I really love the character.
All right, is that everyone weighing in on that subject so far?
I
I just want
believe
to point out, I don't actually hate Saitama or hate arguing against him.
No, I love him.
That's like not even my like least favorite character to argue about. Like the least favorite is probably anything from the Lord of the Rings.
Because nobody's read it,
No,
so you can make things up.
because all of the characters aren't really described the same way you'd have in a lot of other novels. It's less about the actions that they take and more about just the story itself. Power is less about like actual ability and more about a generic, almost biblical idea of authority over stuff.
Yeah. Sort of like a hierarchy of things that's hard to quantify with Tolkien's work.
Okay, next question.
Next question. If you had to marry someone who was a gender or physical sex that you were not attracted to, who would you pick?
That doesn't
So-
exist.
Well, so if you are straight and a male, you have to pick another male, and et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know where me and where I fall in this.
Slug. I think we'd have to pick a slug person.
Also, I think that this is kind of a sly way of asking all of us what our actual sexual
Those
preferences are.
All right,
Yeah.
first, are these anyone at all or characters?
I would say let's stick with fictional just so that we don't get any lawsuits or anything.
I was gonna.
Yeah, George
gonna
Clooney called us earlier today. He said stop
Like they
bringing him up
listen
on the
to us.
podcast.
Appreciate these nerdy kids.
and I
Big fan. Stop saying you want to fuck me.
Yeah, whoever you want.
Plastic Man.
That could be fun.
He could give himself a vagina and it'd be fine.
Ooh.
I just default to male because although that gender is not a problem for me, I guess that's what they would want us to say.
Just whatever you are, I
Yeah.
guess. Or
Would Mystique count?
I suppose
Mystique.
not really, but I mean maybe.
If I Mystique, I mean Mystique as Mia Khalifa. Hey, Krillin's not here. Somebody's got to rep his girl.
Let's keep this PG-13, okay?
We'll adjust the rating. The rating will be whatever it ends up being.
We just got bumped up to 14A right there.
talking about
Oh
having
my
sex
God.
with fictional characters, so we're already like breaking the PG-13 at this
That
point.
is kind of true.
It's
I'm
real
pretty sure this
simple.
is-
Peggy
No, this
16.
counts as sexual situation, so we're still PG-13. But I say the fuck word like 12 times, so
Yeah, we
Rated R.
we have the disclaimer. We'll put it up at the front.
Pretty
I'm gonna
sure
go
this
with
is all
Boo.
in
I'm
Canada.
gonna go with Boo because there's lots of holes.
I'm going with
Ew.
Prince Ali from Aladdin because he seems pretty loaded.
Prince Abubu?
Prince Abubu.
Prince Ali and Mercy.
Ali Ababa.
This will be the
I'm
end,
regular,
Prince Abubu.
Okay, so did we all weigh in on that one? I'm losing track of
Mac
everybody.
said nothing.
Mac.
Conrad said nothing.
Mac continues to not contribute to the podcast.
Mac, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so
Say
question:
something.
if you had to marry someone who was a physical sex you were not attracted to, who would you pick?
That's a complicated question.
You have 13
Yes, it is.
seconds
Some
of
sort
right
of
answer
monarch.
for you. Who?
Probably like a prince or something.
Oh, I thought you said
Well, yeah.
the Monarch from Venture
Fair
Brothers.
point.
Why?
Which
Why don't you
prince?
get the money? Money, man.
I
That's
don't
all it's
know.
worth.
Okay, I'm
One
going to
that
answer
has,
for him. He
actual
chooses
political power.
Mr. Mime from Pokemon. Mr. Mime from Pokemon. That is his answer.
Mel, Mr. Mime.
And moving on to the next question, we have obscure characters that would be good for Who Would Win.
Kamen
No,
That's not
Rider.
really a question, it's more of like a sentence fragment.
Kamen Rider.
No idea. I would know nothing about obscure characters at all.
Nothing?
Yeah, you don't do
Nothing
shit.
coming to mind?
A little bit, man. I can't even think of anything.
You know what? You know who doesn't get enough play? You guys might not have heard of him. That Agent Howard's guy. He's from BPRD.
Fucking love you.
Okay, so there's this guy I found recently. I don't know if you guys know him. He's really strong. He
Donald
could
Trump.
probably beat Superman. His name is Saitama.
You're wearing the joke down, Mac.
It's done.
We're giving her all she got, Captain. She can't take much more.
I think that there are plenty of characters that I've noticed have been mentioned and then just not given any attention.
You
And I
mean
think
like
that a lot of
anyone
those
who's
could be
ever
brought
won
up.
on Amateur Hour?
A lot of them, yeah. I've noticed Blood Rain, which you would think
Who?
we'd use her a lot because she's cool. She's got powers. She's got
Wait, from
weapons
that
and
movie?
stuff. Not the movie version.
Game
No, the movie was
series, yeah.
pretty horrible.
Wait, there's a game? What?
Yeah, there's games.
Brain game, yeah.
Fuck? What's it
The
about?
games are not bad.
What kind of game is it?
It's like a
I gotta know.
third-person sort of action-adventure thing. It's not the greatest game ever, but it's
Okay,
fun.
somebody go post Blood Rain versus Witchblade.
Yeah, basically something like that would be fun.
There's a
Sex
bunch of
battle.
characters.
More serious answer for the question would be Solaire from Dark Souls.
Do more literary characters. There's a bunch that don't really get a lot of attention.
It's because nobody makes respect threads for him, because that involves reading.
Hey, I made a respect thread for a literary character.
But you can't
There's been
read.
a few.
I can read.
Respect cards for
Prove it.
literary.
Read my name.
Kiwi Arms.
Haha. That's a lie.
It actually is a lie. He actually changed his username to nconrad to screw with me.
Yeah, everyone can't see it because we're not recording that part of it, but we're all actually in a chat room and like we're.
No, we're all sitting around a campfire together, jerking.
Yeah, we're
each
all in the
other
same
off.
room. We're just also in a chat room.
Everyone's jerking the guy to their left.
I mean, obviously, we all live in the same place, right, guys?
We
I
all
mean,
sleep in a
that
pile.
would make sense if we didn't.
That
Welcome to
one
the
big
first
round
ever
table with our
nude
laptops facing
podcast.
each other.
We're all nude and covered in chocolate. It's amazing.
Oh, it's such good chocolate too.
Don't lick my chocolate, man. That's my chocolate.
No,
That's
this
a
is
great
my
nudity.
chocolate. You got some of my chocolate on you. It's my chocolate.
Some
Hey, this isn't
peanut butter
chocolate.
in
Oh my
chocolate.
god. So
All right,
wait,
next
wait,
question.
No, hey, I got an answer.
Okay, fine. Talk about your body chocolate.
I want to answer. It's Kamen Rider. It's always Kamen Rider. They never get play, man. Nobody ever plays.
Is there any reason for wanting to pick Kamen Rider?
It's my favorite thing that exists.
Oh, great. Perfect answer.
I mean, why do you
Now,
like
guys.
Agent Howard's?
This next item on our list, what exactly do you want to do with it? It just says comparisons of different versions of popular characters. I mean, we could do a lot with that. What are we doing?
I actually had something prepared for this.
All right, go
Always
ahead.
default to Always default to post-crisis. Thank you. Goodbye.
What about non-DC characters?
Always default to post-crisis. Thank you. Goodbye.
Just
It's like,
specifically
that's like a
what
line that
post-crisis
goes
is
through
about.
all of fiction.
Post-crisis Spider-Man versus post-crisis Agent Howard's.
I totally agree with that because freaking Zatanna was way better in Post Crisis, and that's the only character I care about.
Post-crisis Saitama, that's your favorite?
No, Zatanna, sorry.
Oh.
Zatanna
wait,
versus
let's
Saitama.
get-
Who
Zatanna, Saitama, you gotta enunciate.
They're both sexy women in fishnets.
Saitama?
Saitama's an incredibly sexy woman in fishnets.
Ooh la la. Okay, wait. Let's get our good friend Fat Kid No Friends, who's been here the whole time to weigh in on this question. Fat Kid,
Yeah,
what
he's
do
so
you think?
quiet.
Whew! Unexpected answer.
Good answer, you know?
Can you believe he chose him?
I could not have said it better myself. Let's move on.
All right, next thing. Do we have any announcements to make?
We're shutting down the subreddit.
All of it.
Yeah.
We're canceling the podcast. This was terrible.
We're sending every
Yeah, we
post
can do
you've
better.
ever made to your mom.
Hey, maybe we'll fix it in editing. You never know.
We're
Some
deleting
things
the
just-
podcast.
We'll just Kiwi out entirely.
Why me? I'm
Well,
one
hey,
of the 3 people who's spoken this whole time.
Yeah, I gotta agree with him on that one.
Our users have the ability to vote anyone off the island that they want, and we will respect that
So not
if
only
they
are we
give us a
naked
reason.
and covered in chocolate in front of a fireplace, we're on an island
I have the immunity idol.
in the city of Destroyt.
Destroyt.
No, I want to know what he did to get that immunity idol because I wasn't part of that.
Oh, he found it in like this pit full of snakes.
Is the snake pit Krillin's butthole?
Is it what?
Butthole, right? He found it in Krillin's butthole.
No, that's absurdly sexual and unwarranted. You're going to turn off the viewers to the podcast, please.
Agree. Let's just turn them all off.
Any
I
more
think that's about
questions?
all of our content, honestly.
Yeah.
No.
Just
No,
like the
just-
subreddit, our work is low and disappointing.
I do think that, we've got about 45 minutes or so of quality content there, and then,
Let's
we
type
can cut out the
15
rest of
minutes
what
of
Kiwi
shit.
said, and then we'll have about 30 minutes of good content.
This is Krillin here, reminding you all to comment, like, and subscribe. Continue the conversation on the WhoWouldWin subreddit or on Twitter using the hashtag Destroyt.